Hello, everybody. Okay, so there's been new information filed in the Letecia Stauch case. I was going to go live with this, but I figured I'd just do it this way so I can get it out and you guys can read through it at your leisure. I will go through it slowly so you can pause and read this at your leisure. I will stop at maybe certain points to hone in on certain things that are in here. There are some things that are very concerning regarding security issue breach. Is she trying to set up maybe another escape attempt? We don't know. But what we are going to see in here is the wellness agency that takes care of inmates has some interesting stuff that they say in here. And I'm really questioning what this MRI and EEG is actually for, because generally this kind of stuff is used for certain medical conditions. And I don't think Letecia fits into those categories. And I agree with what the Wellness Center is saying. So I will scroll through these documents so you can look at them and go over them at your leisure. And like I said, I will stop at certain points and give some commentary on what I think is going on. So right here we have the El Paso County Sheriff's Office position regarding the defendant's motion for a second evaluation. This is basically going to give you an idea of what the sheriff's office thinks about her needing to go to these tests. Okay, so they go on to say, you can, like I said, you can pause this and read through it yourself. They just go through and say that Letecia is currently incarcerated at the El Paso County Jail pending trial in the above captioned case. On September 12th, the defendant submitted a motion for sanity evaluation to be conducted at Colorado Mental Health Institute at Pueblo. The motion includes a request from the named clinical evaluator, and we did in other lives give the name of this doctor who is wishing to do this test. This doctor is about to retire. She has unethical, really, ways of dealing with things, trying to blame people who have murdered others a way out of the charge by saying that there was something not proper in their brain at this time. This isn't a known or very well respected medical procedure for this. She's very controversial in what she does and claims herself to be an expert in this field regarding using these tests for ways that they were not intended. If you do want to go back and watch that video where I have Crime Curious also on panel speaking regarding this doctor, and I don't think she's very well backed in her theories using this kind of testing for what she is intending to use it for. Okay, so it includes a request from the named clinical evaluator that the defendant be monitored on an EEG machine for 72 hours, okay? Now, an EEG is usually tops an hour to complete. So why she is asking for 72 hours and so on is beyond me, because that is outside of the scope in which an EEG is supposed to be for. And also she wants an MRI. Well, EPSO takes no position on the motion itself. EPSO does wish to provide the court with information on the burden posed to EPSO of providing an EEG and an MRI either in CJC or in an area hospital. Bringing outside medical personnel into the CJC presents certain security risks and logistical problems. Because the evaluation takes 72 hours, which this is like, there's no way that an EEG takes 72 hours. It would be challenging to make sure, and this is going to be talked about by the wellness agency. I'll show you that in a bit. It would be challenging to make sure these outside personnel are accommodated in a way that allows for around-the-clock monitoring of the EEG. Concerns for the defendant's well-being and that of any personnel would require at least one deputy to monitor the defendant at all times during the evaluation, which would be a significant drain on EPSO resources. Completing the evaluation in an off-campus location would also present significant security risks. Command staff at the jail estimates that 4 deputies would need to be present with the defendant at all times that she is away from CJC. And this is the jail she's in, okay? The CJC. This would have an even higher cost on resources, particularly since it would mean at least 5 shift changes. On September 15, 2022, a hearing was held on the defendant's motion. At the hearing, the court requested EPSO commander from CJC and undersigned counsel be present at the next hearing in the case, which is set for October 13th. Now, these documents are a little bit older, but they were just posted to the record. So, undersigned counsel will be out of state on that date due to a trip scheduled prior to the September 12th hearing and will not be present on October 13th. Unfortunately, it is unlikely undersigned counsel will be able to attend remotely due to travel planned on October 13th. Commander Eric Carnell has been subpoenaed for the October 13th and will be present. EPSO Detentions Bureau Chief Jeff Kramer has prepared a memorandum detailing projected costs of each of the 3 options put before the court at the September 15th hearing. They've attached that as Exhibit A. I do have it. I will show you that next. It is EPSO's position that the least burdensome option for EPSO staff and resources would be that the evaluation be completed at CMHIP. Wherefore, the reasons set forth above, EPSO respectively requests that the court take due notice of EPSO's position in the matter. Okay? So, let's go on to the Exhibit A. Now, El Paso County Sheriff's Office is who sent this over. The subject is security and cost considerations regarding Letecia Stauch's EEG. The following memorandum is intended to provide considerations from a security and operational perspective for the medical testing requested for Letecia Stauch by her legal team. It is my understanding an EEG has been requested with continuous monitoring by a third-party medical provider for a 72-hour period. During this time, Ms. Stauch would be connected to the EEG, which would involve medical equipment to be near or connected to her in some way with parts involving wires. Furthermore, I understand there are 3 primary options discussed for the best location for this testing to occur. Considerations for each are outlined below. Any movement of Ms. Stauch outside the EPC jail to medical treatment facilities is considered a high-risk transport due to the high-profile nature of her case and, more importantly, her attempted escape while in custody. So I'm just going to scroll through this. This is for CMHIP in Pueblo, would be $1,323.82. That's for the hours and everything. Bringing outside medical personnel to the EPC jail to conduct the necessary evaluation of Ms. Stauch presents challenges. Logistical matters addressing clearance and access for outside medical professionals would need to be managed, but is easily done with proper coordination. Of operational concern is the medical section is an active environment with many duties to complete, namely providing medical care and observation of inmates housed in the area or those coming to the section to be seen. Having outside additional personnel in the area for a period of 72 hours, thus increasing the footprint of persons in an already active area, would be disruptive to ongoing operations. To compound those concerns would be any medical emergencies in the section which require additional assets, fire department, MAR. to populate the area to assist. These emergencies are not uncommon. Lastly, due to the nature of the equipment described as part of the testing for Ms. Stauch, the increased risk to her safety, it would be necessary for the Security Division to assign a deputy to conduct one-on-one observation of Ms. Stauch for the duration of the event. So the cost to have it at the jail would be $4,386. So now this is at CMHIP. The cost to have it there would be $731. You can read through. It's basically just reiterating what they've already said. So it would be only mileage and staff hours for transport. Staff hours for the scene security. Oh, hang on a second. Okay, so this is for the okay, so this is at CMHIP would be $4,386. Now, this is for the evaluation completed in an outside facility other than CMHIP, because she would have to, this is they're saying here, if the medical testing were done at a facility other than CMHIP, such as Memorial Hospital, there would be a significant strain on security resources, since security would have to remain in place for the duration of time Ms. Stauch was outside EPC jail. It is also the scenario which creates the greatest risk to staff and custody concerns of Ms. Stauch due to numerous uncontrolled variables. So staffing for transport and on-site security would be determined and would be facility dependent, but for the sake of cost estimation, the UC Health Memorial Hospital has been used as an example, as it is most familiar to EPSO personnel. So mileage, staff hours for transport, staff hours for scene security, $13,160 alone, just for having security while she's at an outside hospital other than CMHIP. So the total for that would be $13,898. Now, the reason why I think they're putting this in here is because CMHIP is saying, like, we're not allowing anybody that is not part of our staff to do the testing at our hospital. So then they would have to get an outside hospital to allow this doctor to come in with all their equipment. So ESPO remains committed to the safety and security of persons housed at the EPC jail. I'm confident that the staff's ability to work through challenges associated with the list options listed above for the safety and security of all involved. Okay. And they are saying for the safety and security of all involved, their position preference and that of the staff at the jail and sheriff's office is for the medical evaluation testing for Ms. Stauch be conducted at CMHIP. Now, the only problem with that is CMHIP is saying that they will not allow an outside doctor, especially the doctor that's being chosen, to come in and bring her own staff and own equipment and everything else into their hospital. It's not going to happen. So they're at a standstill, I think. Now, what is interesting, we're going to go on to this. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so WellPath, WellPath's position regarding the defendant's motion for a second evaluation. WellPath is the agency that takes care of all the medical regarding the jail. Okay, they're the ones that come in and evaluate the inmates and stuff like that. And if they need outside medical attention that wellness can't provide, they arrange that, they set it up, blah, 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 blah. It's usually within their control. Whereas this is not. Okay, this is an outside doctor trying to have Letecia brought elsewhere and have this testing done that they don't think is even relevant to Letecia Stauch. Okay, they will explain it here. So WellPath LLC, by and through the undersigned, blah, 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 blah. WellPath states the following. WellPath currently contracts with El Paso County Detention Facility to provide medical care through physicians, advanced practice staff, and nurses to detainees at ECDF. Letecia is currently incarcerated in the El Paso County Jail, pending trial in the above-captioned case. WellPath has been informed by the county that on September 12th, the defendant submitted a motion for a sanity evaluation to be conducted at the Colorado Mental Health Institute at Pueblo. The motion includes a request from the named clinical evaluator that the defendant be monitored by an electrocardiogram, an EEG machine for 72 hours, and that a magnetic resonance imaging MRI scan also be conducted on the defendant. While WellPath takes no position on the motion itself, WellPath does wish to provide the court with information on the burden posed to WellPath of providing an EEG at El Paso County Detention Center, which is really one of their only options. It's either $13,000 at another hospital because CMHIP doesn't want a doctor that's not on their roster to be in there and to bring her own staff and own equipment and everything else. They won't allow that. It's not going to happen. And at the jail, they don't really want it there either because there's other inmates that will be in that section. So it's going to be like, you guys are paying for this doctor to do it at some hospital that you don't usually use, bring in her own doctors and own equipment. Like, this is unheard of. Okay. So they go on to say, as a preliminary matter, according to the Mayo Clinic writings, okay, this is a very well-known clinic, okay? An EEG is a recording of brain activity usually done to investigate epilepsy or seizures. It can be done to confirm brain death or comas as well. So it's used for epilepsy, seizures, or to confirm brain death or comas. It's a conventional scalp. EEG sensors are attached to the scalp to pick up electric activity or signals in the brain. The activity is then transmitted to a machine through wires. A physician, usually a neurologist, interprets the recording. The recording is generally carried out by highly trained specialists called clinical neuropsychologists at centers and hospital clinics specializing in performing the tests. Not like a traveling salesman bringing your little bag of tricks to a hospital and setting up your equipment and doing this for 72 hours, right? And the test usually is completed during a short, as in an hour visit for 20 to 40 minutes. Such tests would never be performed in a detention center. Okay? They are performed in specialized settings. Just give me a second, you guys, please. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Okay? WellPath would not have the protocols for caring for a detainee that's my mother. Sorry, you guys. WellPath would not have the protocols for caring for a detainee, such as detainee having such a test, and the performance of such tests would be outside the scope of WellPath practitioners. So there's no way it can be done at the jail either. They're saying it right here. Okay, so like I said, they're just saying that they wouldn't be able to do it there, that it's not the proper set up for it, etc. They even go on to say here, and WellPath practitioners in the jail clinic would, of course, need to be involved in assisting to make sure the subject detainee was all right, not having problems, and that other clinic patients were not being subject to the circus environment that would likely occur if a company brought equipment and staff into the jail clinic setting. At a minimum, concern for this detainee and for other clinic patients would require time-consuming oversight by WellPath staff regarding security, safety, and administration. Such burdensome oversight work would deter from the care of other detainees. that they would require. So I'm just going to scroll through this. It's basically saying that they're not prepared to deal with it. And now this is the last one, you guys. Notice of trial and motions. The trial. There is another case here, and I think this is the escape attempt. So the trial in 1358 is set to commence on March 20th, 2023 at 9 a.m. No plea has yet been entered in the CR 3170. I believe that that's the escape attempt. And the parties have requested that matter trail behind 1358. So all motions except for motions in line must be filed no later than December 22nd, 2022. Responses to the motions are due within 21 days thereafter. Motions will be heard on February 2nd at 2023 at 1:30 p.m. Any notice of a 404B evidence must be filed by December 22nd. Pretrial readiness is set for this matter to commence on March 9th, 2023 at 1:30 p.m. Motions in line are to be filed no later than March 9th. So there you go. That is what has been filed. And we are going to see what comes of this next. I'm going to be watching the filings in the court case to see if there's anything else filed. I will bring those documents to you to SWIT as quickly as I can. Okay, so with that, there you go. Those are the latest documents in this circus. It seems a lot of people are catching on to, I started that very early on in this case, that this was a circus that Letecia was ringmaster in. So it seems a lot of people are catching on to that saying now, especially in this case. So with that being said, if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're aware of when I do bring out new information like this and when I do updated reads. Also, there is a super thanks button right below this video with a little heart. If you so choose, it would be appreciated if you wanted to make a donation to the channel so I can continue to bring you this information as it comes out. So with that being said, please take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.